We are building blocks in fucking Minecraft, and we're building.
This is the rendition of Jack Black's original song
building
for the
blocks
Minecraft movie.
in Minecraft and water bucket.
Do I have permission?
Permission to what? Oh my god. Welcome back to Stacked, everybody. Season 4, episode 3. Brandon just hit me. Send help. Yeah, we're back at the show here, and we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest flick of right now.
Box office smash.
Juggernaut,
Biggest
really?
juggernaut of the year thus far.
That's
All
American.
the year.
We'll see. Yeah, that's American. It's stateside because we're here in the States. And we'll see if anything tops it this year.
It's Minecraft.
It's Minecraft.
A Minecraft movie.
We're in the middle of Minecraft mania right now.
We are in the midst.
And literally, like it's been crazy.
2 weeks
Yes.
of batshit.
Like
Batshit crazy.
I knew that this movie was gonna like be a success to some degree, but I didn't think it would become this like viral sensation where people are, the movie is becoming a meme in itself, and people are going to the movie ironically. You've probably seen the clips by now. The audiences are going nuts, and that's why Brandon has some opinions because he runs the Harkins in Cerritos.
I run it.
He runs it.
I
It's
do
his
it.
theater.
with an iron fist. With an absolute iron fist. But yeah, we wanted to use this episode to sort of like talk about your experience.
It's not just my experience.
Your personal experience with
hope
the Minecraft movie playing in theaters and just how you've been handling everything that's been going down.
My mental
how are you,
health.
yeah, how are you? Are you okay? Are you fine?
I'm frustrated.
You alright? Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, this is your space to talk about your frustrations with teenagers and Jared Hess. So
Who deserves prison time for this movie?
Jeez.
Jeez. Well,
It's a
explain.
shame because
Yeah.
he made two like iconic 2000s comedies.
That are still not good.
I disagree.
I
I
think they're
love
both
both
unfunny.
Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, two like very formative films for me. So, and then he kind of fell off for a little while. He wasn't like he made like a few movies here and there, but nothing got nearly as much attention as those two did.
Right.
And then out of nowhere, here he is helming the biggest movie in the world at the moment.
You know what's frustrating? Who is going to be the director of this movie?
Who is it going to be?
It was going to be Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Huh?
Yeah.
Honestly,
and Glenn
director?
Howerton.
That checks out.
Yeah.
I could see this having, because even the movie does kind of have like it has that tone. I can see the tone being similar.
Charlie Day as Steve. That would be pretty good.
Honestly, that would have
Honestly,
worked.
probably
I
It would've
can build
worked.
that with Minecraft, flint and steel, wow, that would have been a different movie.
Yeah.
That would have been
maybe
a cool
better
movie. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like audiences are just going apeshit for this, and I don't get it. If I'm being honest, the memes, right? You've seen
Yeah.
the memes on Twitter.
Well,
Not
not
just-
Twitter, but
Well,
on Instagram and such.
yeah, like they're all over the place, and it's like, it's not like actually funny. Like when you think of a meme, what do you think? You think of something that is like
I think of the troll face, dude. That's a good one.
that's okay.
Or like a neon cat.
Oh, okay.
Man, you're aging yourself
Classic,
here.
huh?
We're gonna
You're aging.
We're gonna be
yourself.
aging ourselves with this entire fucking episode.
we-
'cause
This
I don't
I
understand
feel like
why.
memes have like transcended
played
that
Minecraft.
original intention.
All
of
It's
us
just
have
like
played
photo
Minecraft.
with a caption.
Yeah.
I
Throws
burped.
up.
I burped. I threw up.
I threw up.
I threw
I
up.
just threw up. For
Have you
those who
ever
are just
played
listening,
Minecraft?
I just threw up. I've dabbled.
You've dabbled?
I've dabbled. I'm not even a gamer, and I've dabbled. I feel like everybody in this age demographic has at least
I played it once.
like logged on
Once in
and
my
like
whole
pressed
life.
the keys for a bit.
We had a Minecraft server in college between Jack, Justin, me, and Chris.
our friends, our
Yeah,
college friends.
Our college
I
friends.
put up all their heads up here. Those
Yeah.
are Brandon's friends that he plays.
I
Minecraft
myself.
with.
I have my own.
We didn't play.
I don't think. You
Yeah,
guys
I
were in
wasn't
that,
into
no.
that. I think
Well,
I would
okay.
watch
Oh,
over your
Krager
guys'
might
shoulder.
have been in
but-
it too.
I have Minecraft for the Switch.
That's
Someone
crazy,
convinced
actually.
me to get Minecraft for the Switch because they're like, "Oh, you can play with everybody,"
and then
and
nobody
then you
got it.
can't.
Oh, you can't.
You can only play it with people who have it on PS4 or Switch,
Oh,
Which
not even
nobody
Xbox.
does.
and nobody does. And everyone's like, "Wait, why'd you get it? We all have it on PC." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I played for 15 minutes, got bored, and that's my Minecraft backstory.
See, Minecraft doesn't really lend itself to a movie. I mean, there's like no guardrails, right? Which is great because it means that there could be so many things that a movie could be about.
Right.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, there's no direction. So if there's a bad direction the movie goes in, it will
The thing
collapse.
is, why I can't understand why Minecraft was a movie is there's so many rules to Minecraft. Like it's an open explore
crafting.
game, but the rules of like crafting
Yeah.
and like
And
creepers
the movie-
and stuff
I would argue most of the screenplay
is just explaining how the game works.
is just Jack Black
And I'm-
explaining how the game works.
Literally, the first 5 minutes of the movie, he's like, "This is how I got here.
Yeah.
This is this item," and then everybody clap because
And then he disappears for like 30 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Doesn't come back till later.
yeah.
But it's just like I don't know I think we are hitting this really weird time
For movies,
for movies, just for movies in general. Of like, we see like studios who find like this big IP like Minecraft, you know, and I don't think it's not like Super Mario Brothers. It's not big for that reason, or like the Avengers, you know. Minecraft became its own like thing because of its freedom.
Yeah,
You
it's a
know, and not the
sandbox game.
story or the characters.
right? It's not
And,
like Red
like-
Dead or Grand Theft Auto or something.
No, I think I think it's actually also kind of like that because those are like games that you can while there is a story and
Yeah.
there is a story you can play in Minecraft, I believe.
Right.
But everyone uses those games for its element of freedom,
Right.
you know, and doing what you want and like playing online with friends and like making your own stories.
Right.
You know? And I just think it's too much to explain in something that's less than 2 hours. You know?
and this is a quick movie.
It's a quick movie that's mostly just exposition, and then
It's like this is a crafting table.
yeah,
This is a pillager. This is a villager. This is an Enderman. This is a diamond set of armor.
Right.
This is a chicken.
And where it really struggles is the fact that it chose to feature an ensemble of characters because you have Jack Black, you have Jason Momoto.
Jason Momoto.
I have a good friend named Jason Yamamoto. Shout out to him if he's watching. But
What a guy.
that's what the name that came to mind because I saw him recently.
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa, and then you have 2 kids and another woman
Danielle
Who
Brooks.
owns a zoo
Danielle Brooks.
in a car.
Yeah, like her whole bit is that she has a bunch of side hustles to
'Cause-
make ends meet.
Because she lives in Idaho.
And
Yeah.
What do you
it's-
do there?
And it's just so many characters for exactly what you're saying, where the whole movie devotes the plot not on the characters but just on explaining the world. So it feels weird watching these characters.
But most of
who are
those
so
characters
empty.
don't even use the world to its creative potential. There's only like 2 who kind of do, but like the only reason they know how to do it is because one guy
Yeah.
was there for a year. And that's it. And you don't get to see him like create or learn how to create. He just does.
He just does it. And it's just like it felt like every character in that film that was from like the human world were there just to have like different demographics of people reacting to what a Minecraft world would be
They're
like.
like, what is this?
You know
what
what
the
I'm talking about?
hell?
They're, like,
yeah.
There's like the old gamer, you know, Jason Momoa. Then there's the kid.
Who's like in the know.
And then there's just like the girl character. And then there's like the black woman character, and they all like have their own stereotypes of these written characters throughout films of how they would react to the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why they're there, and it's so annoying. Like this movie is just like
And they half-ass character arcs
it's
for
like
them.
it's
Yeah.
I'm going to coin it as like conveyor belt cinema, you know?
It
Where
really
it's just
is.
like you're just watching it go by. And it's just like, oh, it's just here's things being put in front of your face that have no sort of value or substance to them. That are just moving on. You know, you go spend an hour and a half just looking at like it's like a clip show.
It is.
It's a clip show of them just saying things from a game.
Yeah.
And like, I think the reason why this became such a meme is because I think like everyone finds this stupid that they are just doing that because Minecraft is such a big and like it's like a big and personal game to especially kids. Like I think they latched onto Minecraft because it was like that was their like world that like adults didn't understand.
Yeah.
And they could go and be whoever they wanted and like hang out in there, and they sort of made like their own like rules, like social rules.
This
in
is
there,
their like
you know?
own version of Legos, but they're endless. Essentially,
Exactly.
you could buy it for $30, and instead of having one Lego set where you build one thing,
Right.
or like build like one thing every so often, you can build like an entire world for yourself.
But also, I think it retaught kids how to like be social with other kids. You know,
Yeah.
because when we were kids, we had video games, but it was like
You would play with.
it was an
people.
activity to get your friends to come to your house, to come sit down in front of the TV, and it was a split screen multiplayer game.
Right.
You know, but like all generations younger than us, they're just like after school, they'll just go into their rooms, turn off all the lights, turn on the computer, and hang out with their friends in Minecraft.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how they'd hang out after school, you know?
And not only that, but I don't think that there was any other video game that like dominated like internet media in the same way that Minecraft did. Because Minecraft also, there's like you could go on YouTube, people would make feature-length films.
Yeah.
In Minecraft. Ethan showed us one.
Minecraft Parkour Civilization. It's great.
Yeah,
Go
but,
check
like,
it out.
There's so many of those.
Right.
Where it's like not only are they playing the game, but they're getting immersed in the world that these internet creators are making.
Right.
And I think it dominated a generation. I think our generation is included in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
And because it came out like late 2010 or
No.
early 2010s.
Early
right?
2010s, late 2000s. I want to say
So it was like right then when like we
2011, I feel like, is when it
something
came out.
around
because
there.
I do
yeah.
remember. I think in middle school, I remember like
Yeah.
peers of mine were starting to get into it.
Everyone who had a PC that I knew had Minecraft, but I was a Mac kid, so
You could get it on Mac. But
a lot later.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel like I was the prime demographic for it when it came out, but I just didn't have the means to play it.
yeah.
So then it just totally missed me, you know? And then when I had the means to play, I was like, everyone was playing that in middle school, you know? So I skipped over it.
I think it's certainly a fun game because it does allow you to get lost in like this like endless creativity.
Yeah.
You get caught up in like you digging it for stuff like in the mines literally, or like just foraging a world, and like you never know what's going to come next, and you have to explore and find your way around and learn these rules.
Right.
And part of the fun of that is you don't know like anything.
Right.
But when everybody knows something, or
And
everybody
it's always being explained to you.
yeah, then it's like, oh, it's so boring and uninteresting. Because part of the fun is
Right.
discovering.
Yeah.
And this movie like misses out on that discovery completely. And the memes, like you said, they're like,
They're just things from the game that like, and the only reason why they are a meme is because I think the kids find it funny that this middle-aged man is saying something that was only within their lexicon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just see this as one big like, how do you do, my fellow kids?
yeah, but like they're like making fun of it, but
Yeah, but also there's like some sincerity in it too, because it is something that they did grow up with, but they're also like, I think they're having fun with the chaos of it all.
yeah, but what they're telling the studio is we want more of this.
I know,
We
and
want.
that's what they don't know. That
Yeah.
they don't know how this business works, but they're just doing this for those reasons.
I guess that's kind of like the overall theme of what we're discussing here is like this movie's massive success. And even though it is ironic, it's still real money that's going to the studio.
Yeah.
And letting them know that this is the type of movie that's going to be successful.
That's getting people in
because
theaters.
let's take a movie that came out last month, for example, Mickey 17. You have world-class director making something original, like something a little out of box, and this like science fiction genre bending kind of movie.
Sure, it's rated R.
It's rated R, sure, so it might not be as accessible, but so was Deadpool and Wolverine last year.
and
Yeah.
families took their kids
And
to
that
see
that
yeah.
grossed like over like $1.5 billion. That movie doesn't even break even. That's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Warner Brothers looks at Minecraft, which is making
Right.
them a buttload of money right now. And like, what message do you think they're going to take from that?
Oh, we got to do more of this.
Exactly.
They-
like
they're
no more
fast-tracking Minecraft,
financing
too.
movies like
Which
Mickey
is-
17. We're going to start financing movies like this.
Yeah.
So that's what that means by, the massive success it's having, even if people are seeing it for the joke.
See, for me, it's like I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it feels like a forced irony, like a forced event. Like it feels like people miss the movies where you could go out and like lose your mind at, because these kids who are watching this movie, they probably grew up very early in their lives when they saw like Avengers Endgame or Spider-Man No Way Home, you know, when they were like in early
Very
adulthood.
early in their life. That was like a few years ago.
Yeah, but that's
These kids aren't like.
No,
I mean, I
but-
guess they are.
yeah, like if they're like 13 now or 15, they might have been like 9 or like 7 when those movies came out.
Fuck me.
And like I'm not saying like
Yeah.
it's they yearn for it and they want to
yearn for the
create
minds.
but the thing is it's a forced irony. They don't realize that
Yeah.
they can't make this The Room or Rocky Horror Picture Show just by force of will or the fact that these memes are taking off online and they want to be a part of something.
Right.
But because they see it and they're like, we want to be a part of this and we were going to make it this regardless of the quality of the movie. Because the
Yeah.
reason why The Room and like Rocky Horror took off is because there's a genuine love for both of those movies because the craftsmanship of one and the fact that the other one is just like super laugh out loud funny because it's unintentionally funny because they wanted it to be like a serious movie.
Right.
But Minecraft doesn't take itself seriously.
No.
I would argue it's a film that knows
Also,
it's 110%
Going
off the rails.
back to those Rocky Horror Picture Show and The Room examples, both of which are like, well, actually, Rocky Horror Picture Show I wouldn't even say is like bad.
Yeah, but it's
Like it,
yeah.
but like The Room is like, yeah, of course it's like a terrible movie, but both of those movies are very genuine.
Yeah.
Like they are made by filmmakers who really wanted to tell those stories, and in both of those cases were also kind of self-driven projects.
Right.
Where you kind of have these like visionaries with these like cracked out ideas and they made it happen and it's a hilarious result, but like there's something beautiful about that. Minecraft movie you cannot say the
It's
same
soulless.
about. It's soulless. It is such a corporate decision.
Yeah.
There's a new TV show out right now called The Studio with Seth Rogen. And
Kool-Aid.
the first
the Kool-Aid
episode is the studio buys the rights to Kool-Aid and then forces Seth Rogen to put this project together. And that's literally what these studios are doing. They're just they don't care what the IP is.
Yeah.
As long as it's recognizable enough, they can monetize that.
Yeah.
And that's all they care about. And that's very evident with Minecraft. It was just a super recognizable IP. Why wouldn't they make a movie off of it?
Right.
And that's where we're at.
And oh man, Brandon, I just want to now get to like
Yeah, you got to
I want to get to these stories,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
because
of
like
course.
we've been talking that like yeah, I feel like
It's altered the
This-
movie-going experience a little bit.
it has. And I feel like it's been a slow build up. Like we saw this with Minions. Remember when everyone was wearing their suits to Minions?
Gentle
too?
Minions.
The Gentle Minions. I think that was a fun trend that was like it was respectful,
Short-lived.
you know.
It was innocent
short-
enough. It was
Yeah.
just people that just so they could get the Instagram post with their friends. Like we put suits on and went to go see
Yeah.
Minions, which is like fine. That's totally fine. But this
They
is
cheered at the logo and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
But this is
It's
insane.
different.
This is different.
Yeah.
And I
Brandon.
feel like it is because like these kids who just have never been outside have just played Minecraft are going out to do this and they just have no awareness of
It feels like their first time going to the movies.
yeah. It's they have no awareness of like just how to like behave in the public, but also sort of like I feel like it also tends to lend to that being anonymous
Yeah.
sort of aspect of internet humor. You know, that they still feel like they're anonymous
Well,
enough.
what they do is that they see these clips going viral on TikTok or
They're like, "Oh, I
Instagram,
gotta do this too."
and they want to be a part of that.
because all my friends are gonna think that's so funny when I post this. And, you know,
Exactly.
and if I get famous, I'm gonna be like the talk of the school. If
Yeah.
my Minecraft movie video goes
The
viral,
Minecraft movie video.
then I'll be the talk of school. So Brandon,
Every-
did any viral videos happen at Harkins?
Well, I wouldn't say viral. Like I don't think anything from because we are a theater that heavily discourages phone usage, and we have people who go through the theaters, and we're not Alamo Draft House. Like we're not kicking you out, but we are going to tell you to put your phone away. So like nobody's filming this stuff, but stuff's happening. So there's situations where it's affecting other movies.
Oh, really?
You would the worst story so far has been there was a night when Minecraft was in like one of our bigger auditoriums and it was a very rowdy crowd. Like I'd walk in to do a check and people would be cheering and clapping for like 2 minutes straight and you're like, why? Like there's nothing happening on the screen.
Yeah.
There's a point in the movie where Jack Black's singing a song, not the chicken one, but the other one.
Like about his hotel at the beginning?
No, the one near the end where they're like
About it
clapping.
with his dog?
No, with Jason Momoa. There was a lot of songs in this movie.
I know. There
And I
was
don't remember any of them.
Yeah,
at like the one that's playing before the end of the movie at the game store.
where they're clapping like they're playing for the pillagers.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah,
Continue.
you don't even
Continue.
remember.
I don't
Wait,
care.
wait, with the saxophones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter.
They took
I
a
don't
stupid meme from Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And they put
The
that in the
saxophone.
mic.
Yeah.
we
Okay.
don't. Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to get it.
But anyway,
I want to hear what the audience.
people
did.
were
Yeah.
clapping like constantly, and they clapped as long as the song was on, and then they kept clapping for like 2 minutes. And I walked into a theater the other day, and somebody was like, they were like, "Shut up!" And I was like, "Oh my god! Like, I'm not gonna handle this because this crowd is rowdy, out of control." Anyway, there's also a scene earlier in the movie where Jason Momoa and Jack Black are flying on a like wing glider or something like that, and they're gonna fall to the ground. And in Minecraft, to not take fall damage, what do? You throw a water bucket. You throw a water bucket on the
Oh, that's what they were doing? I mean, no, because they do that in Minecraft Parkour Civilization.
right where
That's
you
right.
where you
I knew that.
where you don't get like fall damage.
Right.
Well, after the movie, there were 2 teenagers who ran into the Death of a Unicorn screening, and then screamed water bucket and threw their ices over like the ledge, and it landed on all of the guests watching Death of a Unicorn at the end of the movie.
Are you serious?
Did you have to interact with any of those guests who got hit?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sure they were pissed.
Oh yeah, they were like, "What happened? Like we were watching our movie and we got like."
Yeah.
And the thing is like theaters have to like offer dry cleaning to people because it's technically our responsibility that we didn't handle the guests.
Yeah.
But like, how are we supposed to handle a situation from guests from another movie going into another movie after their movie is completed?
Yeah.
Even though we do checks pretty sporadically, like every 20 minutes.
Right.
And like, how are we supposed to deal with
How are
it?
you supposed to catch that?
How are you supposed to catch that? You can't always
Damn.
do that.
That's brutal.
And it's like, it's not even the same
Oh.
movie. And, you know, there was another circumstance where this happened about 3 nights ago. There was a guest during the chicken jockey scene, which everybody is going crazy for. I don't know why that scene in particular, really.
Yeah, man, I don't either.
I don't get it. They yelled chicken jockey, and they threw an icy, and it hit a woman in the back of the head. And like she like ran out of the theater, and she was like super upset about it at first.
Yeah.
And her kids were like, I don't know who it was, because like everybody was like cheering, and we were like unsure of everything.
Yeah.
And the son was trying to go back in the theater and fight the people because he was trying to find them.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we were in row H, but there's like 6 or 7 rows behind us, so we don't know. Like, was it intentional? Obviously, probably not.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hit each other in the head, but they're losing their minds at this goddamn scene, and they're not careful of anybody's safety or anybody's like movie-going experience. And she's like, and the thing is she's like, listen, I expected tonight to be like thrown at with popcorn and stuff like that, but I didn't expect to get hit in the back of the head with an icy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Like, don't worry, we'll help you out. Like, we'll do what you. She's like, I'm like, we can kick him out if you'd like. They're like, no, we're just gonna leave. We just don't want to be here anymore.
Did he get a refund?
No, we gave them readmits to come
Oh,
back
okay.
just in case they want to. But they do.
Oh,
do
man.
people want to go back after events like that? Like,
no, for real. Like, I've been seeing this stuff, and honestly, it's been sort of like a determining factor of whether I want to go to the movies or not. I'm like, you know, like last weekend, I did have some free time on me, and I was like, we went and saw Warfare. But like before that, I was like, nothing really is playing, and if there is, I'm like, do I want to be around in that space, you know, with
just
all those
Minecraft
kids, just
Mania
like
happening,
even just
yeah.
in the lobby? Do I want to deal with that? You know, it's a bummer, and it's just like, oh man,
we
moving
really do
theater
sound
employees.
like old folk, though.
I know, but that's what. Oh,
Because
that's
this is what I'll
I'll
say.
Yeah.
Back when I was in high school, my friends and I used to do this kind of stuff all the time. We wouldn't throw popcorn. We wouldn't
Ices?
Well, we would throw ices at people, but we would go see bad movies and
Yeah.
intentionally kind of create an event out of it.
Sure.
Like we saw Norm of the North, the original Norm of the
Yeah.
North when it came out in theaters, and like during all the big moments we'd be cheering and like having a good time. So like I remember what it's like to be that age and like go into these stupid movies and like want to do I don't know, for a bit. You want to do the bit.
Right.
But this is just
bridge too far.
it's a little too far.
Way too far.
And it's like if you want to cheer, that's fine.
Yeah, I
But like
guess.
you can't affect other people in the process. You can't be throwing things at people.
No.
This sounds like a rowdy like.
Can't be
sport
going
game.
into other movies and
Yeah.
throwing things at other people.
Yeah, you can't be going into Death of a Unicorn.
They didn't
of
sign
all
up
movies.
for. They just signed up for Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Taking a unicorn.
They
They
didn't
didn't sign
want
up for this
Minecraft
fucking madness.
It's just bullshit.
It-
You know,
it is.
It's really destructive. And it's not the first movie. I mean, it's the first movie that is like severe, but
Right.
it's not the first movie where you've started to notice this sort of trend in this direction. But it is affecting the way people want to go to the movies. Like,
Yeah.
if there's a Minecraft movie, another Minecraft movie that comes out,
Yeah.
some people are gonna avoid the movies, and maybe that's good for that movie because it'll make less money. But there's
Yeah.
still gonna be tons of people who want to be a part of this next event.
I do have something I want to
Go
bring
for
up
it.
that isn't necessarily about theater etiquette per se, but about like a movie like this. So people are cheering at all the references they're throwing
Right.
at you.
Yeah.
And I feel like movies are starting to do that where they are planning in the scripts like, okay, where can we get the audience to applaud? When can we get these big movie moments?
Yeah.
When can we have space for
And
like
I
applause?
absolutely despise this. It's
Oh, I
the
agree.
reason I hated I don't know if I've
Joey hates Endgame.
I will blame Marvel for this. Actually,
I agree with you.
100% blame Marvel for this, and in turn Disney, because they kind of did the same thing with Star Wars. Like last year's Deadpool and Wolverine, I hated that movie, and the reason
Yeah.
was because when those characters, this isn't a spoiler anymore. You've seen the movie at this point. When those characters show up, like Blade and Elektra, which is a stupid cameo,
Yeah,
and Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. There's no narrative or thematic purpose for them being there. They just know when those characters show up in the theater, the audience is going to cheer.
Yeah.
And there's going to be someone on their phone in the theater filming that, and that's marketing. That's free marketing for the movie.
And they're like, please don't spoil the surprise. Because where I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think with Endgame, right? Or like those.
I didn't bring up Endgame.
I know. I'm just saying, like, there was a natural nature to that where it was genuine surprise because what did they emphasize with the marketing campaign for that movie? Don't spoil them. Yeah, don't spoil the movie. They didn't really have a trailer that revealed like all that much information about anything outside of the first act. But then getting into No Way Home, I blame that movie for like them not being able to keep the secret under wraps, and then people went into that movie with the forced expectation of what was going to be in the movie. Yeah. And though I think with both Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home, both of those movies, I think there is a purpose to those characters being in the movie. As far as what they're saying about legacy and Deadpool and Wolverine, and like even though like them getting an ending, that's a good idea for like shitty movie characters for like shitty franchises.
But I want to go back to those movies at some point and just look how like those scenes are paced and
yeah.
shot, because I don't think I've seen those movies since the theater.
That's the problem.
and I bet
will
it's
agree with you.
awkward as hell.
No, I'll agree with you there.
Right? That they're made just for that.
They're
the
made
audience
for the
breaks.
applause moments, and I don't like it. Because it's just, look at this person you recognize. Remember this? It's nostalgia bait. It's treating the audience like monkeys. Like, it's just monkey dance.
Yeah.
Look who it is. You recognize this from the past. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Not a bad movie, except for the one scene where they bring in Twitter castings for the Fantastic Four
but
that don't
they did
amount
something
to anything.
fun with that, by fucking.
But
shitting
I
on
don't
it.
buy it.
Yeah.
I don't buy it because those clips were just in the
It-
movie to create applause moments.
That's
They're
true.
just to create viral moments.
A film
That's
should
all
be
they're doing.
timeless, and
Yeah.
doing that like kills any sort of
Kinda
like
ages-
Who
timeless.
watches
Yeah,
these
they-
movies out of a theater? Seriously, you say it yourself. You
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Who watches these movies like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Nobody's fucking watching that at home.
Prior to Endgame, I think honestly, I rewatched a lot more Marvel movies at home.
Because it was easy to, and now there's just too many.
Well, but it feels like those movies were watchable.
Yeah.
Like not just because of the cameos in them. Or whatever.
But like it's ironic because you look at these movies' box office success. Let's take a movie let's take Jurassic Park for example. That movie comes out in 1993, becomes the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
That movie to this day people rewatch, and it's a part of our pop culture.
Right.
Independence Day, a movie that's not as critically
Yes.
well received, is the same way.
But
Everybody
it's
watches it
because
every 4th of July.
But now these movies jack up these giant box office amounts, and they don't last at all.
Yeah.
They don't last at all in pop culture. They don't have any staying power. No Way Home, I haven't heard anybody talk about that movie in 3 years.
As much as I love the movie, who the fuck has watched Aquaman since it came out?
No.
And that
no
movie
one.
made $1 billion.
Moana
I love
2
that.
last
I'm like, it's
year.
probably just me who's watching that
Do
movie.
you think there are billion-dollar movies that people do rewatch?
I'm sure. Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I'm sure there's people out there that, like, once these movies come out on Netflix, Hulu, wherever the fuck it is, yes, they're throwing it on at home, but they don't have the staying power as they are. They are just filler for noise. They're just noise. That's all they are.
Yeah.
And, like, otherwise, like, movies back in the day, that these ginormous box office successes, the original Star Wars, E.T., Jurassic Park, Titanic, for crying out loud. Titanic has lasted. Like, Avatar even, like, I would say has lasted.
Yeah.
Some
Like,
people would argue the opposite, but
And those
I don't.
movies, like, I think they were made to, like, be something to be put on over and over again because of home video that was, like, coming up in the 80s.
Because
you know?
of home video, and the filmmakers knew that, you know, they can't just rely on these viral moments in the movie. They have to create on telling these timeless stories.
Yeah, and it's just so bizarre to me that, like, why wouldn't that be the same mentality with a streaming service? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to make, like, these classic films that, like, oh,
No.
people want the incentives, they can just watch this amazing film whenever they want.
No,
but
they
no,
don't.
but it's not.
You know why?
Because people usually just throw on stuff for, like, background noise.
Not just that. I think they're not concerned with creating something that is rewatchable because they know that you're probably only going to watch it once. Because there's no ownership of it. Plus, if they acquire something, say they acquire a Disney movie, it's going to be at a price because it's not going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And you know what? They don't want the licensing rights for that movie to go up, so they have to keep it on their service consistently, right? Because people are going to want to rewatch it more. They're not concerned with creating stuff that is rewatchable. They're creating stuff that's intentionally cheap so they can afford it and have the name.
Yeah.
I have Venom 3 on my streaming service. Did anybody watch Venom 3? Did anybody love that
Does
movie?
anyone care?
No,
No.
I don't think so. But they'll see 3 and they'll be like, I got to be a part of the conversation. I need to watch all of these movies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for a while, I mean, I feel like I fit into that. And I do want to see a lot of stuff because I want a variety of content to
Yeah.
watch, a lot of film to watch. But I don't need to, like, watch everything now. That's a little hard. It's a little
No.
difficult. And also, there's so much slop out there. It's all the same fucking gray shit.
Yeah.
And I think Minecraft is just another addition to that.
To me, it's feel like the epitome of it all.
Because
You
I
know?
think
it's just the grayest, sloppiest, noisiest, like, thing I've watched in a long ass time.
yeah, and give it a month or two, this like trend will pass. That movie will end up on Max because it's a Warner Brothers movie later
Yeah.
this year, and then during the Thanksgiving season, sure, when the family's over, it might be in the on the TV in a
Yeah.
few households.
A lot
But-
of babysitters are gonna put it on,
Yeah.
probably.
But that's about it. That's about it. This movie's not gonna have any staying power.
No.
Who
At
is this
all.
movie for, even?
Kids.
No, but, like, if it is, then why is there Jennifer Coolidge trying to fuck a villager?
So, like,
what is that?
because
Because we got to have the adult jokes for the adults.
yes, I feel like they're like, we gotta have something. Like, that's why they brought Jack Black. That's why they got Jennifer Coolidge. They're like, yeah, the parents who watch a White Lotus, they'll see her and they'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, sure.
you know,
like, well,
why not?
because that's what people do when they go on the streaming service and they like an actor, like, it'll be listed in, like, the info, and then they'll click on that actor and see what other movies or TV shows are available on this service that has Jennifer Coolidge in it. Oh, look, she was in White Lotus. That's on Max. Look what else is on Max. The fucking Minecraft
And
movie.
she's also very, like, she was a very memeable person, you know.
She
I feel
is,
like
yeah.
She was in a lot of memes during like when White Lotus first came out and stuff. They're like, oh, we got this meme person Jack Black, this meme person Jennifer Coolidge, like Jason Momoa is a funny, like, 80s gamer, and that's where, like, the How You Do My Fellow Kids came in. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a funny meme, you know.
Yeah.
Corporate synergy, huh?
Yeah, it's all just a mess. I don't know. If there's anything, I think it's also indicated to studios that I think, like, I mean, video game movies have been, like, getting made, like, more and more recently, but
Yeah.
I think, like, with
With
the
Sonic.
success of this and the Mario Brothers movie, I'm not even gonna say Sonic because I think Sonic was just like,
Super niche comparative.
I think it's niche compared to these two.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, I think Hollywood is gonna have its eyes set on video games for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if it's good or not, I think like,
Fortnite movie is
Fortnite
gonna
movie,
happen.
The Russo brothers are gonna make a Fortnite movie.
That's like Ready Player One and Endgame.
Yep.
Right? The electric.
It's
Stick.
and
gonna
the
be
and the
that.
Space Jam New Legacy, where it's just gonna be a bunch of recognizable characters in a
And
battlefield.
cameos
And they'll have a GTA movie, and they'll have all the memes in there. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's just like this is what, because these video games that everyone loves, it's not, like I said, it's not for narrative stories that can be told in less than like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But they're gonna try to make it as just like, oh, people are attracted to like when they hear a phrase or a thing that they thought they only got.
On like the internet or like
yeah.
on their TikTok feed, and now they're hearing it in a big movie in the movie theater.
Out in the public, and that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And that's just like, that's what popular entertainment's gonna be until we have a nuclear war. So,
Yeah.
and then there'll be no more internet after that, and then we'll start from scratch, start anew.
Yeah.
Which is why we should have nuclear war. I'm gonna bring that back.
No.
I feel like next year Steven Spielberg is putting out his latest science
The
fiction
Dish.
event movie.
Yeah.
And he's the man that's probably responsible for the modern blockbuster.
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
you have to attribute it to Steven Spielberg.
I mean, Jaws came
And-
before Star Wars, so.
I'm really scared that movie's going to come out, if it's lucky, 300 mil worldwide
Yeah.
box office gross. Like it'll do fine.
Total.
I think
Yeah.
it'll fare well, but it's.
I
like
think it'll fare well, but then meanwhile the Skibidi Toilet
Michael Bay's Skibby Toilet movie
is going to come out and make $3 billion.
soon. Yeah.
And then it's kind of crazy how that happened.
You know-
it's going to be poetic and it's going to be very
You-
sad.
You hate
Yeah.
But
to
it's gonna
be-
happen.
You hate to be on the old head side of this because I think we've evolved a lot, right? But like,
We've come a long way.
we've come a long way. But like, we are not in the we hate fun crowd,
No.
right? We love movies. We love.
I love fun
We
movies.
love dumb
Me too.
movies. On movie night, sometimes we'll watch old 80s movies that are not super good or maybe are like underrated gems,
Right.
but they're not always the highest quality film.
But at least they're not just like they're just not based off an IP.
Right.
Yeah.
At least that, like, even when they're goofy, going back to Rocky Horror Picture Show, let's use that as an example. At least that's a passion project.
Small
Right?
Soldiers.
Small Soldiers.
The Blob?
At least
The
like
remake
those
of The
movies
Blob?
were genuinely came from a genuine place of creativity. Minecraft movie, despite the game being
And its
all about
messaging.
creativity
Yeah.
and the messaging about being creative, the narrative is so
It's
copy
not
and
about
paste.
creativity
It
at
is like
all.
one of the least creative movies I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah.
It kind of goes against the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
does.
And you know what's funny
It's so funny.
is
Yeah.
like another movie that you could argue is similar with a similar based on an IP is the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Legos
Perfect way of doing it.
it's similar IP. It really is, where Lego is all about like creativity and building stuff. And that movie does a way better job at exploring
And
that.
it has like cameos of these famous characters, but nobody was like, "Oh, it's like
No,
Lego
because the
Superman."
story was just
Yeah.
genuinely well told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, that's a cute little reference. I'm gonna laugh at that."
Yeah, because we all had Lego
But the-
Star Wars. Of course, that'd be a
Yeah,
Lego
Yeah.
world.
but they don't the narrative doesn't hinge on that.
No.
Right.
There's like a character like Emmett. I remember the fucking main character's name.
Yes, of
I think
course.
that says something. Emmett, the main character where he's just like an everyday Lego, the basic Lego figure.
Do you remember the child's name in the Minecraft movie?
No, I don't remember any. I know it's Jack Black is Steve.
Okay.
because that's the
That's
meme.
it. I don't remember any other character name.
It's Hank.
Hank.
Yeah.
Hank.
I work at Hank's Bagels. Hank should be a name I remember.
Yeah.
Bagels.
Like, and I didn't remember
You
that.
didn't remember it. I knew it.
God
Yeah.
damn.
It's just like, it's just really depressing.
Yeah.
I walked out of that movie just like kind of in awe. I was luckily at a Showtime that didn't have any. I went to a 1040 late night Cine XL Showtime
Yeah.
that had like 20 people in it and nobody cheered,
Good.
which made me acknowledge it in the light that you should on a streaming service if you watch this.
Yeah.
which
That's
is-
good. You saw it in its
Empty.
true form.
Which is like emptiness. I laughed one time and
Oh.
I don't give star ratings on Letterboxd anymore, but I reserved a special half-star rating for Minecraft.
That's so
Really?
nice.
Because I wanted to make sure. I wanted to conjure. Evelyn, Brandon's wonderful girlfriend also said this in her review. Like, I'm just giving this a half star to contribute to a bad letterbox curve.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of like joke 5 stars that is like upping the curve on letterbox for this movie. So right now it's at like a 2.9 because people are just spamming the 5 stars for a joke. But like really, like I wanted to be on the opposite end of that spectrum.
Do you think the studio knows that it's like an ironic, like people love?
They don't care.
They
Or
don't
do you
care.
think they're
Any
out of touch?
any publicity is good publicity.
They just know they're getting
That's
money.
in the name of the game this entire time.
Yeah.
You know?
The studio. I just hope they.
If anything, yeah, they do recognize that, and now they're gonna try to double down on that type of content.
The mines.
The mines.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gave it 1.5. Or
No,
half,
no. Half.
Yeah.
I'm a half too.
I gave it the only I laughed one time, and I don't think it visually. It's an ugly movie. I think it's wonderful that they tried to faithfully adapt like the blockiness of the world. I just wish they did more with it. I don't know, like
you liked how cubic it was?
I liked the cubes.
I
like the cubes.
I like the cubes.
At least they had the cubes. At least everything was cubed.
Yeah, that was
There was nothing round in Minecraft.
right.
I like in this impression, like Donald Trump is agreeing with us.
Yeah, no.
Like he's on our side.
That's my new favorite bit.
The
Is when
Minecraft the movie, quite frankly, not very good at all.
'Cause he
but
would-
they had the cubes. Quite frankly, I love a good
I
cube.
love a cube.
The one
I love
time
the
I'll
cube.
You gotta
agree
give
with
them
the
that one. They had
fascists.
all the
Yeah.
cubes.
They had the cubes.
That's the one thing they did right.
You see,
That's
I'm
the
not
one
such a bad
thing.
guy. I'm
Yeah.
not such a bad guy. Come on.
It gives them sympathy.
But yeah, this movie sucks.
Do you think this is
sucks.
gonna happen with another
Sucks.
movie coming out?
The only I'm trying to look at like trends that kids.
Like
No, I know Fortnite movie is happening.
Fortnite movie and
It's
Skibidi
going
Toilet
to
movie I
happen.
feel like are the only like contenders for this.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
you
Maybe
guys-
Roblox.
Did you guys think?
Yeah.
Did you guys think
Roblox.
this was gonna be a success when you?
I-
I knew it was going.
We
to
were
be.
we were talking about this earlier. I knew it was gonna be. I knew that this was gonna make money. I
Yeah.
knew it. I didn't expect it to be this viral of a hit.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I thought it was just gonna be like. Remember last year, like Godzilla v Kong?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be on the scale of that, where it's like the spring
Yeah.
break movie that comes out. Like, yeah, every people go to see it because of Minecraft, but it's like 600 mil worldwide. But now this is on track to easily cross a bill,
I was.
and I did not see that coming.
I thought it was just gonna be like the Minions, the second Minions movie. That
Yeah.
didn't make a bill.
Exactly. No, like
I made a
600,
bill.
700 maybe.
People had their
Yeah.
jokes. It was gonna make a profit. I knew this was like we're not gonna see the end of Minecraft after this.
No.
I just knew it just because it's too big.
Did Minecraft ever go away?
No.
I underestimated it.
But
though.
I didn't know people were gonna be fucking throwing ices at the back. of
Yeah, I
people's
didn't
heads
expect that.
For
I didn't expect
bucket.
that.
Theaters are rough.
Yeah,
Theaters are rough. There's popcorn all over the floors, which is.
I've seen those videos.
And I just
Yeah.
feel bad for the workers. I feel
Yes.
bad for you and your team, like
Yeah.
having to deal
It
with
took
all
us
that.
40 minutes to clean Cinnamon the other day
Yeah.
Damn.
because it's like carpeted, which makes. It
Ugh.
worse.
Yeah.
But the I don't know. The industry said it was going to make 60 million opening weekend, and my boss was even like, "Oh, we're not expecting it to do anywhere close to what Mario's doing." And I'm like, "I don't think it's going to do Mario numbers," which it did, by the way. If
It
you
beat
con-
Mario.
If you condense it into a 3-day weekend, it did.
It's
do better.
already made everything that Sonic 3 has made in its entire run.
Yeah, but I
I'm
thought
sorry,
it was gonna,
dude.
I thought it was gonna do
I'm sorry.
100 million.
That is insane.
And it did 160 million opening weekend. It did 80 million this weekend. So it's already made $240 million domestically, which is exactly how much Sonic's made. Sonic 3, which is one of the best video game movies
It is
out
the
there.
best video game. I think if you want to find a film that balances like video game features and like an actual narrative cinematic story
It's based on
I
a
don't-
real video game.
based on a real video game, yeah, because
Can't count Jumanji or something, or Tron
no,
2.
or Tron or what's it called?
Werewolves with
S-
no, wait, that was
Serenity.
real.
Serenity.
That's
Yo.
a really
Great
good-
video game
great
movie.
Video game movie. Shout out to Wyatt, who was on Stacked and talked about Serenity. Yeah,
But yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's bleak. I don't know. It's
I'm-
bleak
I'm
It-
just
it's looking
concerned.
bleak.
I'm concerned
And-
for the summer.
for this summer.
Yeah. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this message sending to studios and their marketing departments?
Like we're not gonna see this type of crowd come out for Mission Impossible or Superman, or Fantastic Four.
they start
or
flying
not.
mini planes through the
Yeah.
theater.
I am gonna be interested to see how those movies do, You know, once
Yeah.
once we get into the thick of summer, like it is going to be interesting to see how those movies perform
It's
now.
so sad though that the industry used to be like in the 90s and 80s, like hit or miss. Then there would be like a new classic that comes out during the summer that was original, maybe based on an IP, but not an IP everybody knows about.
Yeah.
And then like every summer would be like up and down in terms of box office. Some summers would be better than others because there would be more hits.
Yeah.
And some stuff would get shuffled away to time. Now it's like studios schedule their slates like, okay, this is a surefire hit. This is a surefire hit. This is a surefire hit.
Okay.
And then you've got movies that don't gross anything. And they're like, we'll just release it for the people who actually like going to the movies. Because
Right.
that's what it feels like this summer. They've got, okay, this July, we've got a Jurassic World, a Fantastic Four movie. Those movies are going to make money.
Yeah.
They've got a remake in May and June for Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. Those are going to make money. And that's all they care about.
Yep.
And
That's all
then
they
there's
care about.
Superman.
That's we'll see.
Do you think How You Train Your Dragon's gonna make money?
Yes.
Yeah.
They already
Because
greenlit
it's a
second one.
family.
They already greenlit a second.
It's a PG rated movie. It's gonna be like this year's Inside Out
They
2.
screened it at
Where it's
cinema.
just gonna be that family movie where it's like it's coming out first week of summer vacation. That's where parents are taking the
And they
kids.
screened it at CinemaCon, and it was like well received, and that's just because it's the original movie. It's like literally the exact same.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. It's like beat for beat the exact same movie, same script, just live action.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see that.
No, I'm really starting to take the whole like
I'll let you know. How it
like
is.
Voting with your
put
dollar.
exactly voting with my dollar.
Yeah.
I frankly wasn't gonna go see Minecraft, but my girlfriend Tori is a big Jack Black fan, and she wants to have the 100% on Letterboxd complete.
Didn't she blame you for wanting to see
That's
this?
her bit, is that she dragged me. We were originally gonna see Freaky Tales, which is an independent, total passion project that has no chance of making money, but it's fantastic and great. You all should see it. We were gonna see that, but then our dinner went too long, and then we were like, at this point, okay, I guess Minecraft's the only movie. But she's a Jack Black completionist, so she needed to see it, and I'm like, all right, well, I want to spend time with my girlfriend,
Yeah.
and so we saw that. And we are AMC A-list members. We're AMC A-list members. I'm not sure what that counts for in terms of.
I mean, someone's giving somebody money for our ticket.
Yeah.
So-
So yeah, I gave the Minecraft movie tickets and money, and I regret it. I really regret it, and I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I'm gonna be a lot more strict about what movies I go out to see.
And we're proud of you for it.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'll see anything. I'll let you guys know if it's
You
shit.
work in a theater.
You
Yeah.
work in a theater, so you
It's
can
free.
you can get away with it.
Yeah.
But now I gotta be more strict, and I also want to go see more smaller movies. And there's been some good small movies lately.
Yes, there has.
Let's shout out some small movies.
Let's
We
do it
talked
like
about the
Kay last
shitty.
week.
This movie's gotten too much attention as is. Brandon, we're gonna go down the line. Let's shout out some smaller movies that maybe people aren't.
Can you go first?
Yes,
I wanna
I'm
pull
going to
mine.
talk about a movie called Freaky Tales. I'm from the Bay Area. It's a Bay Area movie set in Oakland, 1987. It's 4 different stories that all interconnect. Think like Tarantino, think like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Pulp Fiction, Grindhouse, like that kind of vibe. Sin City. So the Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. It's very
Yeah.
pulpy. It's very pulpy. It has Pedro Pascal in it and a ton of cameos from local legends from the Bay, and it is just such a fun time. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with it right now, more so than a lot of people because I'm biased because I'm from the Bay Area. But I think it's like a total fun ride, and just like you could tell it's a passion project. It's one from the heart, and yeah, I'm gonna shout that one out because I think it's a great movie and needs to be seen.
It's a good one. Man, what have I seen? I saw Freaky Tales as well. I'd recommend that. That was super fun.
I have 3 movies.
Shit. I've been
So-
playing a lot of Sonic Adventure 2. Been watching The Studio. That's good.
Studio's good.
Severance Season 2. I don't know.
Warfare.
Yeah, but is that like a big movie?
No,
No,
it
it's not. It's $20 million
$20 million
budget.
And it only made $8 million this weekend.
Only made $8 million. All right, go see Warfare if you want to just see a really intense depiction of just what every side went through in just this tiny instance in the Iraq War.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a cool film. A lot of people were saying it's U.S. propaganda, and
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So stupid. Sorry.
I think it's very actually anti-U.S. military because we get to take a personal look at this sort of trauma that
Yeah.
we're putting into our American soldiers by just this one specific little mission, and I don't think it also paints any of the Iraqis in
a nice light either.
in a nice light. No, in a bad light. I don't think it paints them as like an enemy light.
I don't think it paints
paints them
anybody in
either
a
way.
bad or good light.
I don't think
it's
there's any
just,
black and white. It's just like it's just
humans
these people
in
having
a
this
terrible
conflict.
situation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's a reason why at the end of the movie they don't focus on the denouement of like the soldiers leaving the battle, and they focus on the people just going back into the streets and the family
and going
leaving the
back
house.
to their lives.
Yeah.
Because that's just what the war in Iraq was.
Yeah.
It was just like
That's not a
shit.
spoiler.
It's a good
by the
movie.
way.
Yeah, it's history.
It's-
Okay.
It's a well-made film.
It's a well-made film. I'd definitely recommend if you have the stomach for it, for something that's like pretty violent and intense, go check it out.
All right, I have 3 movies. I have a larger movie that came out and made no money, Novocaine. I know Joey doesn't like Jack Quaid. I know Ethan wasn't a big fan of it.
I honestly, at this point, I would go see Novocaine.
It's so...
At this point, yeah, I need to start.
It's
Actually,
fun.
Yeah, I
It's
need to go see it.
It's original. It's fun. Even if you're not like a big fan of it, like we need action movies that are like willing to do this. Ray Nicholson overplays it.
Yeah.
But I love the effects work in it too.
I'm also kind of in an interesting position where if like a movie passes my radar, I have a trip to Europe this year, and I'm kind of saving a few titles for my plane ride.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Because I'm like, I
Good
want to
idea.
stack up. So I have like a few
Stack.
titles that I'm like, that's gonna be my stack for my plane rides going to
Yeah.
Europe in July.
Nice.
So, and I think that'll be on there. Novocaine sounds like a good airplane movie.
I have
Probably.
a
Yeah.
medium-sized movie
Okay.
that got a release, and I don't know if it's probably up here. Called A Nice Indian Boy. Starring
Oh, Tori and I are gonna go see that.
Okay, a lovely little movie with.
You said it was a medium movie.
What?
It has Jonathan Groff in it. He's a pretty big name.
You
Yeah,
said
no, but like the actors in it are well known if you're in like the film sphere, but like if you're not, like you're not gonna. know these
Dopinder's in it. from
Yeah, Joe
Deadpool.
Pinder. Yeah, he's actually gay. I didn't know that in real life.
Oh.
Yeah,
cool.
but it's a great. It's a 5-act structure movie. Great little rom-com. Funniest movie of the year so far. I laughed so much in that movie. Almost every joke hits, and the emotional beats are actually really good too. And it feels like a unique voice too.
Yeah.
And then lastly, little movie made no money whatsoever. Had like barely a wide release, and then they dropped it after 1 week. The movie with Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, Locked. That movie
What?
is. Did you hear about this movie?
No.
No.
Okay.
Man, they really did bury
Okay.
it.
So it was made by like 20 studios, and it's Bill Skarsgård. He's like poor, and he's trying to like afford money to like
Afford money?
afford repairs for his car.
Yeah.
And so he's like robbing other cars, and he robs this one car of like sunglasses, and right as he's about to leave, it locks, and it's like a self-driving car. And Anthony Hopkins is the owner, and he starts torturing Bill Skarsgård's character.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because for 90 minutes in this car, where it's like driving around and he's teaching him his like moral philosophy and stuff like that.
That sounds fun. It kind of sounds like Heretic-esque.
And it's so
Yeah.
goofy, and it's so fun, and it's so original, and it's low budget, but it's such an entertaining film. It's a
It does
movie
sound like
night
Did that
fun.
movie.
even come to the Burbank 16?
If
don't
it did, it was
Yeah.
probably there for like
That's
one
wild.
showtime on a Tuesday, and that
Huh.
was it.
And it was so fun. And I wouldn't say it's like a good movie. It's a fun movie. I liked it a lot. I'll probably rewatch it with you
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, you guys should check out those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Ballad of Wallace Island was also very good.
Oh, I'll be checking that out when it
Yeah.
comes.
Very quaint little
Yeah.
British dramedy.
Oh,
You know,
cup of
very
tea.
quaint. It's a cup of tea kind of movie.
tea
But that was
time.
very good too.
Oh,
I
is it?
enjoyed that.
is it?
Oh, has he?
Oh, how quaint.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this fucking show.
Yeah.
Fuck Minecraft, dude. Like, seriously. Blocks and...
Go support
No.
some really good smaller movies because they're out there.
Gotta
They're out
pick up all
there.
the pieces. Yeah. Anyways, Brandon, leave us with a word.
Wednesday Day.
There you have it.
Okay.
Bye.